Greetings from somewhere up in the air above Sweden. And there's Helsinki, the capital of Finland, in the distance. Today we are finally going to pick up the RV, although we are going to take a day to explore the city before the great road trip adventure begins. You know we're gonna drive all the way to the North Cape, right? So exciting, but first we want to see Helsinki. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
We made it to Helsinki.
Like almost every airport, it is a pretty long walk to the exit, where my friend, our host, fellow video creator and RVer Petteri is waiting for us. Where could he be?
Well, we have arrived in Helsinki, and here's my friend Petteri. And we're gonna go get the motorhome now or later, and see Finland for the next 2 weeks.
It is another walk to where he was able to park his own motorhome. How cool! He came to pick us up in an RV.
Yeah, this is what we would call a Class C in America. Okay.
First order of business, of course, we have to get supplies, pillows, blankets, towels, toilet paper, the essentials. Ooh, and water, and some food. And we've come to this huge mall, although almost everything is closed at this time. It is past 6 p.m. on a Sunday.
Gonna get some supplies now.
Next, we go pick up the RV and take it to Rastila campground in Helsinki. Here we get to hang out a little bit and he tells me how everything works in the RV, but there's no video of that. Well, good morning from the Rastila campground in Helsinki, Finland. It was rainy this morning, early, but as you can see, it's weather is improving dramatically, and I think we're gonna have a nice day here at Helsinki. Here we have an old Class C European style and an old Scania bus. Pretty cool. There goes Petteri on his way back home in Varkaus. We'll catch up with him tomorrow, but right now we're going to take the metro.
We are here and we have to go to here. Alright, let's hop on the train.
The metro system here is really easy to navigate since there is only one line that splits at the end. The bus and tram system, slightly more complicated, and that's where we are, Rastila. And you may notice that in this area of Finland, most signs are bilingual. They are in Suomi and also in Swedish. And the reason for that is that there is a large Swedish-speaking community in the southwest portion of Finland. So far, very nice. And there goes UPS. We're walking towards Senate Square, which is like the center of town. And from there, we'll continue.
All the tour buses are here, so this must be it.
There's the Helsinki Cathedral, and they are having some kind of military show here at Senate Square. It turns out it is the 100th anniversary of the Finnish Defense Forces, and they have this 100-day festival touring throughout the country. There's the statue of Alexander II, Grand Duke of Finland and also Emperor of Russia, because at one time this was part of Russia, right? As cool and serendipitous as this is, I would have preferred to see the square in its natural state. Another time, perhaps. We're gonna walk a short distance towards Market Square. Watch out, lady! Yeah, it's only a block away. There is a cruise ship in town, so we are surrounded by lots of fellow tourists here. It is such a beautiful day. There are street musicians, and there's the Upenski Cathedral, a Finnish Orthodox church. Maybe we'll get a chance to see it later. We haven't had breakfast yet, so first we're going to the Old Market Hall. The building dates back to 1889, and it was one of the first indoor markets in Finland. Before that, they were all pretty much outdoors.
Alco, Robert's Coffee.
Ooh, by the way, the aptly named Alco is a state monopoly and your only choice if you want to get booze. So much stuff here. Here's the Three Butchers. And by the way, since it is such a touristy place, a lot of the signs are in English as well as in Suomi.
El Mercado.
Here's a Spanish place. Take a look at that jamon. Iberian ham. That's the good stuff.
Vietnam. See, marinated fish.
Yep, that's what I want to have.
This is the traditional marinated salmon from E. Erickson, and it's supposed to be very good, so let's try it.
Look at all this deliciousness. But we actually want to try the salmon soup, which is not ready yet, so we're having some pastries while we wait. And now we're full. Let's have some coffee here at Robert's Coffee and continue exploring. It is definitely a perfect day to be outdoors, if perhaps a little bit too windy. Can't barely hear the accordion with the wind as we approach Market Square here. The important looking building is none other than the Helsinki City Hall. We wander around Market Square a little bit.
Salmon soup.
It is very busy here today. Yeah, the salmon soup seems to be a popular item everywhere.
Oh yeah, sometimes. In the late night.
You cannot bring it back to the boat, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it is a zoo out here, having a cruise ship in town. By the way, this obelisk is called the Stone of the Empress, the oldest public monument in Helsinki. Erected after the capital was moved here by Russian Emperor Alexander I in 1812. He wanted to reduce the Swedish influence by bringing the capital closer to Russia. There's once again the Upenski Cathedral, a little closer this time. How about we hop on a boat and take a ride to Suomenlinna, which is an island with a fortress, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Should be interesting. And here's the Alas Sea Pool. Very popular, but not today. This morning, we bought a day pass for €9 using the HSL mobile ticket app, which is good for the metro, the trams, the buses, and this boat also, so it is a pretty good deal if you want to visit Helsinki for a day and you want to move around the city. They also have multi-day passes, by the way, if you plan to stay longer and save even more money, so pretty good deal. And off we go. By the way, Suomenlinna, pretty large island, so we're only going to be able to see a small portion of it. But even if we don't get to see everything, the boat trip alone is worth it, especially since it is included in our day ticket. This big red and white ferry here on the right is the one that goes back and forth from here to Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. Well, yeah, the bird is certainly the star here. Everybody is into the bird, even myself. Like we've never seen a seagull before, right? And oblivious that our destination is right in front of us. And that is a pretty nice view looking back towards the center of Helsinki. Let's check out Suomenlinna among the hordes of tourists. We enter through the jetty barracks, and we don't really know what to expect, except that there is a fortress somewhere here on the island. This wasn't really part of the plan, so we didn't do much research. To be honest, I didn't think we were going to have time or that it would be so easy to come here. Most of these houses, which are now businesses, date back to the mid-1800s. Here's the Suomenlinna Church. It was originally Orthodox, but it got modified and converted into Lutheran after Finland's independence in 1918. There's the old organ and the old bell. Let's continue. Here we see some rather ancient artifacts through a window. Someone recommended Café Samovar at the Toy Museum, so that's where we're going. And here we are, the former home of Captain Vasiliev. And now it is the Toy Museum.
That's some local pale ale.
Interesting growth on that tree. Notice we still haven't found the fortress, not yet. We didn't get a map, but I believe it is this way, and there's a lot of construction happening around here. And there's the fortress. Did you see the fortress? Good, because I don't know what got into us, but we decided to walk back to the ferry and see the rest of Helsinki instead.
More people coming. I understood that one. Residential area.
Can you believe it? We came all the way to Suomenlinna and didn't explore the fortress? I guess now we have a good excuse to come back. Soon. What a spectacular view that is. time to get off the boat.
Go check out all the tourists now waiting to go to Suomenlinna. And we're back.
Well, yeah, at least we got there early and avoided some of the crowds. I don't think we've seen this part of the market square yet. Interesting. They even sell reindeer skins. And lots of souvenirs. Hey, maybe we can get a postcard or a magnet. Okay, let's get out of here. It is just a little bit crowded. And we didn't get our salmon soup after all, but you know what? Our time here in Finland is just getting started, so we'll get our salmon soup and many other things in due time. Some of this stuff looks pretty good though. Okay, let's take the tram using our daily pass. We wait a few minutes here at the Kauppatori or Market Square station. Across from this statue called Havis Amanda, the female figure rising from the sea symbolizes the birth of Helsinki. Our tram should come from that way in a few minutes. Actually, there it is. Pretty cool, lively city, Helsinki, huh? That's the Central Railway Station over there. Oh, by the way, I just realized I haven't told you where we're going.
I think this is the church in the rock.
It is so windy. Well, anyways, yes, it is a church built inside a rock with a copper-lined dome. Apparently, the church is very popular with concerts, although what we're seeing today, it's more like a rehearsal, I think. I'll be the first one to say it. It is a very interesting performance. That is beautiful. And I just realized that there is a no photography sign, which nobody seems to be paying attention to, much less enforcing, so maybe I shouldn't even be doing this, but it is such captivating music. I'm sorry, I have to share it. That was awesome, and the acoustics so great in there. Well, let's walk around a little more. There is another neat chapel that I want to visit. You'll see. And these are some pretty cool looking balconies here, winterproof. Is that a Cuban flag I see on that building? Well, it is the Cuban embassy all the way here in Helsinki. Here's the Mexican embassy too. We continue walking towards this other chapel I mentioned, and there it is, I see it, right next to Narinka Square. It is called the Kamppi Chapel, also known as the Chapel of Silence, since it is a way to escape the hustle and bustle of one of Helsinki's busiest areas and have a moment of silence, a place to calm down and find your inner peace. We're back outside, much more relaxed, but very hungry. All we had for breakfast was that smoked salmon and the pastries, and by now we are pretty famished. He says sculpture called Yrittäjäveistös, which pretty much translates as entrepreneur sculpture. And there's the Kamppi Chapel, as seen from the busy square. Let's go into the shopping mall, shall we? Well, that looks pretty massive.
It's a huge shopping mall here.
My idea was to walk through the mall and find another exit on the other side, but I think we're lost. Finally found the exit, and now we're looking for this rooftop bar on the Torni Hotel and maybe grab a bite to eat.
Well, we're going to this rooftop bar here at the hotel, and you have to go up this spiral staircase. Oh, and here we are.
We found an awesome Finnish IPA, but they don't serve food. Check out that view though. Private party perhaps? Well, there are not that many high-rise buildings here in Helsinki, and this is certainly one of the few, but the view is amazing. We get a panoramic view of the city. Although, let me tell you that IPA on an empty stomach is not a very good idea, so we've gotta go get something to eat soon. To channel Rick Steves, it is a commanding view. We can even see Suomenlinna in the distance, and the cruise ship leaving port. Let me tell you, if they served food here, we would have lingered for a while. This wide boulevard here is called Esplanade, and it has a vibe that almost reminds me of Paris.
They like to enjoy the outdoors in the city.
There's this Esplanade or urban park, and there is music. We are now approaching Senate Square once again, coming full circle, and notice we haven't had anything to eat yet since this morning. And we've heard about this restaurant called Savotta, which serves traditional Finnish-style dishes. We begin with some wine, some house appetizers, a supreme Savotta, which is like an assortment of appetizers, and we got 2 Lapland specialties, the reindeer of course, and a 10-hour braised lamb. And finished it off with some calvados, because why not? A very expensive meal, but it was basically our only meal of the day. Was it worth it? I don't know, it was really tasty food. It seemed authentic, somewhat smallish portions, but that is to be expected at a place like this. Hey, You only live once, right?
The subway to the metro, and it looks like a cave, but it's not.
Now that we've got our Finnish food fix, it's time to return to the campground and get the RV ready for our epic journey north. I might even give you a quick tour of the RV. And yes, there is a lot more to see here in Helsinki, but don't despair. We're coming back after the road trip, and we'll see the rest of the stuff then.
Well, hello everybody, and greetings from Helsinki, Finland. As promised, I want to give you guys a quick tour of our European motorhome. Anyways, can you believe it is 9:30 p.m. here in Helsinki, Finland, and the sun is still out? I mean, it's incredible how late it gets dark at this higher latitudes. But anyway, this is a sunlight. It's about 25 feet in length. This here is the back of our. It's a three-way absorption refrigerator, which is pretty nice. This is the cassette toilet here, which I'll show you in a future video. I'm not quite sold on it yet, although to be honest I've only dumped it once and it wasn't that bad. Here we have a huge garage. Well, this is very common with European motorhomes to have this very large garage area under the bed in the back here. And I think it's a good feature. Some of our Class C's have something like this, but not all of them. But it is very nice to have all that storage back there. Here's another access to that basement or garage storage. This right here is our Truma Combi. It's a water heater and heater, you know, for when we need it. So that's very nice. Now another difference between American motorhomes and European motorhomes down here, as you can see, we have and it's leaking a little bit. I have to fix that. That's the gray water dump. But over here they don't have like a dump station like we do in the United States. You dump the gray water is like a drain, basically, like a drain, and you make sure you align that pipe with the drain, and you just open the valve and it drains. And then for the cassette toilet, they have a place in there. It's like right next to the laundry room. Now let me show you inside, and I apologize in advance. It might be a little messy in here because we've been here for just 24 hours actually. So this is basically my first impressions of this motorhome here. As you can see, here's our cockpit. It's a Fiat Ducato. I've been practicing my stick shift skills a little bit. Here we have this. These are the two chairs that swivel. Here we have another chair. This is a pretty nice table, pretty sturdy. Now, as we walk here to the back, we have our three-way refrigerator, which I mentioned before. Right now, is working on power, but it's automatic. But you can change it, as you can see. You can make it work with the battery. You can make it work off propane, or you can make it work automatically, as it is now with electrical power. It's very nice. It's very similar to. By the way, check it out. Finnish IPA. And here we have some storage and some pantry storage that we really haven't used much of it. And 3-burner stove. This is kind of weird because if you leave it like that, you know, you hit the there. I don't want to break it, but that's our sink here for dishwashing and so forth and so on. Here we have a skylight, and with the screen for the bugs, and more storage here. Our instructions in Suomi, so I cannot understand them, but luckily we have Google. Then let me show you. This is the bedroom here. We have his and hers wardrobe closets. We have more storage up there. There, you see? Oh, did you see? I think I dropped the camera. Oh, we have skylight here. Also, we have skylight there in the middle. Ooh, I'm out of breath here. Well, here we have the infamous cassette toilet, which at some point I will demonstrate. There's the light. Here's the light. And we have our sink here, and then that's me. We have some storage here for our toiletries and such. Skylight that you can open, you know, to vent any undesirable fumes. And then here we have the shower. The way you work this shower, because right now it's in, you know, in this mode where you can walk around, but what you do, you remove this piece here, and let me put it here, and then this will come this way, and this, wait, no, that's not how it works, here, and such, and, you know, there, and there you have your shower, which actually is pretty roomy considering the size of this RV. Here there's another bed that I'm probably not going to use because there's only the two of us. Here we have some power outlets and a 12-volt power outlet. Of course, European style, so I have to use these adapters for all my electronics, which is fine. They are all ready for the voltage here. I just need the plug adapter. Okay, let me show you. Here we have this will be the battery for the vehicle. This will be the battery for the RV. Here's our fresh water tank, which we're almost out of water, and here's our gray water tank, which is almost kind of empty also. What else? Let me show you the propane tanks. They do it a little bit different here. It's more like the way you would do them in a travel trailer. Okay, let me show you how the propane works. And here's our carry-on bags, by the way, from the trip. We have this door here, and here we have two propane tanks. And what we do when this one ran out, for example, I just unplugged it from it and plugged it into the new one. And that's pretty much a quick overview of our motorhome here in Finland that we're gonna take for Spain now on a 2-week road trip around the Nordic and Scandinavian countries. And anyways, without further ado, I'm just going to let you guys go. This is our motorhome, as I said, courtesy of Savonia Caravan here, my friend Petteri in Finland. And until next time, thank you for watching, and see you on the European roads. My videos are made possible in part by the support of viewers like you, so do me a favor, if you liked it, share it with your friends, spread the word. And for more options, go to travelingrobert.com/support. As always, thank you so much, and see you on the road.